Crisis Report. PrepperNow just passed 50,000 subscribers. That was pretty cool. So, yeah, this is the sister channel. Originally, it used to be called Preparedness now, for those that know. This has started in November of 2024 when, let's just say it was a little dangerous to speak freely at that time. So now it's gotten a little bit better. So, you know, it is what it is. And we turn it into basically the sister channel news channel. We just do a nice report, put it on a Substack. We let you kind of see what's all going on, and you can figure out the rest for yourselves, you know? So you got links and all that kind of stuff here. But, yeah. This is entitled, Is Iran About to Get Lit Up Again? And I got to tell you, there's a lot of rhetoric out there, and it's not looking good. So I don't know, you know, what the plan is, but let's just say the Israelis are, they're not done, I don't think. I don't know. Everybody knows that this thing is a pause. Everybody knows it's not going to go away and everybody's going to start singing Kumbaya. Everybody knows that this thing is going to come back for more damage between the two countries and more countries. So enjoy this little respite while you got it, because it's not going to last long. And we're going to talk about that. So, is Iran about to get lit up again? I don't know. I think in the not so distant future. So I want to tell you all about it and take you through all the open source intelligence that I have. I'm not going to be real long-winded. Tomorrow, my parents are coming in to see us. They're kind of making a surprise trip. They just haven't seen us in like a month or two. And so I'm not going to probably be making too many videos. And kind of timing this to be Saturday's kind of a chill day anyway for everybody. So I'll put this one out here and people can watch and kind of see. I got most of the main stuff here. And yeah, I mean, it feels like Iran's about to get lit up again. So we're going to call it that. And here we go. But if you guys have not been over, please check out the last couple videos on PrepperNow. You know, the channel's doing well. The videos, they get, you know, ratioed to crap or whatever, but whatever. I'm just glad all of you guys are here and coming back and listening and, you know, just a part of the community. That's the main thing. Subscribe star, I'm going to make it public for the next few days to hopefully entice some people to come on over there. I put stuff out there every day. Subscribe star is a good place where, you know, we can speak freely. If you like it, cool. If you don't, no big deal. All right, friends. So I should go back to Rumble too. I know there's a lot of things. We're working there. I'm actually going to try to work up some form of a plan to have kind of a daily schedule. I work better with a blueprint of a schedule anyway, so we'll see. Parents coming up was unexpected, so we're going to tend to them first, but then we'll get it together. All right, so this is your crisis report for June 27th, 2025. GOP Senate canceled today's big, beautiful bill vote after John Thune let unelected parliamentarian Elizabeth McDonough gut Trump orders, cut Doge relief, and restore welfare for new neighbors. And well, here we are. I don't know. Mixed feelings about the big, beautiful bill. I don't hate it as much as I did 2 weeks ago, but I like the 2A stuff. I don't know. We'll see. J.M. Smucker, maker of Jif peanut butter, announced it will eliminate synthetic food colors from all of its consumer food products, aligning with RFK Jr.'s MAHA agenda. We're going to make America healthy again. Supreme Court ruled that President Trump's executive order limiting birthright citizenship can be enforced in select regions of the country. Trump got a lot of wins today. President Trump says he would have no hesitation bombing Iran again. Intelligence if I'm real phlegmy today, I don't know why. If intelligence confirms that its uranium enrichment reaches a level that raises serious global concern, and that's why this thing is entitled what it is. A lot of problems. A lot of uncertainty. We don't know if Midnight Hammer worked. People are going to say, oh, it worked. We don't know. We don't know if it worked. It might have. I hope it did. We don't know. U.S. Supreme Court rules that parents have the right to remove their children from public school lessons that include rainbow-themed storybooks. Now, they have the alphabet letters and all that. I put in rainbow-themed, so you guys know, because sometimes they hit you on that stuff. A parent should have a right to do with their kids what they want to do, you know, for the most part, within reason, of course. And that I think that's within reason. If you're not into your kids learning that stuff, then you can forego it. President Trump has announced an immediate end to all trade talks with Canada. U.S. Department of Agriculture is pushing ahead with a plan to mass gibbety the nation's food supply in an effort to address the so-called, air quotes, bird flu. Remember the bird flu? Remember? Trump announces that a ceasefire between Israel and Palestine is set to be declared next week. We'll see. They're bombing the crap out of Lebanon today. Federal agents have just dismantled an Iranian human smuggling operation based in Los Angeles with reported links to terrorist networks. Not good. Department of Homeland Security is awarding $94 million in grants to Jewish organizations to help fight anti-Semitism. Construction crews are currently installing large anti-scale barriers around the White House and the Treasury building. I wonder why. Janner confirms trade deal framework reached with the United States. Sent the S&P to new highs. Rome and Venice and 19 other Italian cities are on a red alert for a heat this weekend, according to their ministry of whatever. Trump administration is looking to speed up its ability to fine those in the United States illegally up to $1,000 per day. It's a killing field. The IDF soldiers are ordered to shoot at unarmed Gazans waiting for humanitarian aid. Now, this is according to Haaretz. And if you know Israeli politics, and I kind of know the way that their media works, Haaretz is the MSNBC of Israel. They freaking loathe Netanyahu. Now, I'm not saying this isn't going on, but I'm saying if there was a media outlet there to really try to do things to hurt Netanyahu, this would be the one. Channel 12 and Channel 14 are seen as the Fox News. Jerusalem Post is kind of the CNN, and Haaretz is like the MSDNC. Okay, just so you know. South Korean police on Friday arrested 6 U.S. nationals that were trying to give plastic bottles packed with rice and Bibles to North Korea. Can't do that. S&P 500 rises to all-time high on the China-U.S. trade progress. Doge enters ATF with the goal of revising or eliminating dozens of rules and gun restrictions by July 4th. Please do it. Please. In fact, just get rid of them. Trump says some countries will be disappointed on trade because they will have to pay tariffs. Trump asked what his message is for critics of his tariffs. Go back to business school, is what he said. Iran says IAEA chief request to visit bombed nuclear site suggests malign intent. He's trying to keep him out. Wonder why. Trump on Democratic primary winner Zohran Mamdani. He's a communist. That's bad for New York. But the rest of the country is revolting against it. Yeah, kind of. 6.1 magnitude earthquake has hit off the southern Philippines. Small drone targeted an apartment in residential tower in central Tehran. Again, things are trending towards another conflict. Might not happen, but it's not looking... It's questionable. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but like there's a lot of bad things to test the ceasefire, which is only 96 hours old. Still got a lot of problems to deal with. Israeli spy agency Mossad has called on Iranian citizens to avoid high-ranking IRGC officials, IRGC bases, especially if they hear a sound from the sky similar to a lawnmower and vehicles belonging to the government. Stay alert. The leaders are hiding in the tunnels and protecting themselves. You are in danger, the Mossad says. Now, the drones are called sometimes a flying moped, sometimes a flying lawnmower, sometimes a flying Dorito, the Shaheeds. That was in reference to drones. Kremlin says Estonia's willingness to host NATO planes with nuclear weapons poses an immediate danger to Russia. That's a problem. Over the past hours, Israel Defense Forces, or IDF, launched a major wave of strikes against Hezbollah. Positions across southern Lebanon, including Nabatia, Beaufort, Castle areas. According to the IDF, the sites struck were Hezbollah underground installations that were being rebuilt. In a statement, the Jewish State Armed Forces said that the IDF recently struck using fighter jets, site used by a Hezbollah terrorist organization to manage its fire control and defense array in the Beaufort Ridge area of southern Lebanon. This site is part of an underground project that was rendered inoperable due to previous IDF strikes. Recent days, the IDF identified attempts by Hezbollah terrorist organization to rehabilitate the site. Therefore, terrorist infrastructure in the area was targeted. Existence of the site and rehab attempts constitute a blatant violation of the understandings between Israel and Lebanon in their ceasefire. IDF will not allow the Hezbollah terrorist organization to operate from this site and will continue to act to remove any threat for the state of Israel. It's starting up again. U.S. President Trump says someday somebody needs to inspect Iran, IAEA, or ourselves. Trump says immediately ending trade talks with Canada over egregious digital services tax. What is that? Well, he says it here. We've just been informed that Canada, a very difficult country to trade with, including the fact that they have charged our farmers as much as 400% tariffs for years on dairy products. It's just announced they're putting a digital services tax on our American technology companies, which is a direct and blatant attack on our country. They're obviously copying the European Union, which has done the same thing and is currently under discussion with us. Also, based on this egregious tax, we are hereby terminating all discussions on trade with Canada. Effective immediately, we will let Canada know the tariff that they will be paying to do business with the United States of America within the next 7-day period. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Does anybody else love when he says that? Thank you for your attention to this matter. He's like CEO sending out a freaking newsletter or something. I love it. Turkish Foreign Minister Hakan Fidan says after the U.S. attacks, it is evident that Iran's nuclear facilities have suffered significant damage and have become unusable. Iran and the U.S. should negotiate. They may reach an agreement on nuclear. Israeli Defense Minister Israel Katz admitted that they failed to destroy Iran's enriched uranium. Israeli Defense Minister Israel Katz said in an interview to Channel 13 on Thursday evening that Israel did not destroy all of Iran's highly enriched uranium, tried to kill Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei during the operation, still alive. It's going to come back again. We're not done with this. Russia confirmed it will deliver the remaining 2 S-400 air defense systems to India, 2026-2027. Israeli Defense Minister Israel Katz says Israel won't respect ceasefire with Iran. Israeli Defense Minister Israel Katz says he has instructed the IDF to implement the Lebanon model in Iran, where even after the ceasefire, the IDF will continue striking targets it sees as potential threats. We're going to get started again, folks. I directed the IDF to prepare an enforcement plan against Iran that includes maintaining Israel's air superiority, preventing nuclear advancement and missile production, and responses against Iran for supporting terrorist activities against the state of Israel. It's a matter of time. Trump is considering demanding that Iran hand over its entire uranium stockpile, according to the Telegraph. Iran rejects resumption of nuclear talks with the United States, according to Bloomberg. Russia has seized control of Ukraine's 100-acre lithium reserve near the village of Shevchenko, eastern Ukraine, one of the largest in Europe. A lot of people unhappy about that. Texas has banned China, Russia, Iran, and North Korea from buying land in their state. A lot of people happy about that. Funerals of martyred generals, soldiers, and guardsmen continue all across Iran. Attendance of massive crowds paying their respects to those who sacrificed themselves for the homeland. This is Middle East Spectator. He's pro-Iranian. Trump goes on a long rant, says Ayatollah Khomeini is lying about Iran's victory and that prevented Israel from taking him out and that he knew exactly where Khomeini was hiding. Trump also says he was working on sanctions relief for Iran, but that he stopped this effort, stating that Iran is always so angry, hostile, and unhappy, and that he was very offended by Khomeini's statement of anger, hatred, and disgust. Satellite imagery is showing that Iran has opened one of the tunnels at the underground complex below the Esfahan uranium conversion facility. Believed to be located several dozen meters deeper than Fordo, at a depth of approximately 100 meters, it described as impenetrable by United States analysts. Satellite imagery shows, or seems to confirm, that Iran is either relocating part of its stockpile of highly enriched uranium or installing enrichment centrifuges. U.S. sources confirmed after the strike on Fordow that another underground facility was located underneath the conversion facility at Esfahan. B-2 bombers did not target this facility because it was too deep to be targeted even by GBU-57 massive ordnance penetrator bunker busters. U.S. Joint Chiefs of Staff Chairman in a statement to Congress says we did not use bunker buster bombs on one of the largest underground nuclear facilities in Isfahan because the site is so deep that the munitions may not have been effective. You picking up the theme here, folks? Why are Trump and Netanyahu suddenly pushing for a ceasefire in Gaza? Well, this is an Eastern-leaning telegram, and they say it's so they can make a move on Iran. Alhamdulillah, let the Palestinians have some rest. I don't know what that word means, but they've fought enough. They've sacrificed enough. They've gone through hell and back in a way that no one can imagine. Let us now be a ransom for Gaza. They deserve it more than anyone ever will. So I guess he's saying, please, God, come and do this. But point is that they're trying to push a ceasefire, but they're thinking it's so they can focus back on Iran. Ergo, the title is Iran going to get lit up again. U.S. has warned that China is rapidly developing space-based military technology with Jen Whiting of the United States Space Force, General Whiting of the United States Space Force, saying China's use of space to complete its kill chain had become very concerning. Germany demands that Apple and Google remove China's DeepSeek AI from their app stores in the country. Israel's defense minister orders military to prepare a plan to enforce its air superiority and prevent nuclear advancement in Iran despite the Trump ceasefire. Katz also expressed his willingness to conduct airstrikes on Iranian targets if necessary despite ceasefire and said, "We don't need American permission to do it." Tehran should understand that Operation Rising Lion was just the trailer, Katz added. Just getting started. OPEC plus eyes supersized oil output increase. That would bring your energy costs way down. Could be a problem for Russia, but we'll see. Microsoft has killed the infamous blue screen of death, replacing it with a black-colored screen in a few months. We're all going to miss the blue screen of death. We've all seen it because we've all seen Windows go down, but yeah. No more for the blue screen of death. Intelligence officials briefed Trump at Mar-a-Lago in September 2024 about Iranian hit teams actively targeting him and his campaign as claimed in a forthcoming book. Regime in Iran is arresting rabbis and community leaders from the Jewish community in Iran on suspicion of ties with Israel. Yes, there are Jewish people in Iran. Crazy. Clear indication that the Iranian regime is under pressure from the economic consequences of the conflict with Israel. According to reports, in the past 2 days, 120,000 Afghan refugees were deported from Iran in what has been described as the largest deportation operation of refugees from Iran in 20 years. For years, Iranians have complained that Afghan refugees are an economic burden on the country, increasing unemployment, putting pressure on resources. Is it a coincidence that a day after the ceasefire with Israel, the first thing the Ayatollah regime does is to deport tens of thousands of Afghans? We think not. Regime understands that the negative and destructive processes in the Iranian economy before the conflict with Israel will only intensify and accelerate, and they are trying to address this, among other things, through the deportation of Afghans. It is highly doubtful whether this will help. Honestly, folks, I think he's complaining because the Afghans, according to the Iranians, were some of the people that were really helping Mossad. So, yeah. Mossad was, using Afghans, according to the Iranians, and now they're getting rid of them. Mossad's Farsi X account posted an hour ago, "Dear citizens of Iran, you know that every effort is being made to ensure harm does not come to you. Our war is against the oppressive regime of the Islamic Republic. We would like to provide you with some guidelines to ensure your safety. 1. Please stay away from members of the Revolutionary Guard, especially senior officials. 2. Stay away from Revolutionary Guard bases, especially if you hear sounds resembling a lawnmower in the sky. 3. Avoid vehicles belonging to the regime. 4. If someone from the Revolutionary Guard is in your vicinity, suddenly contacts you by phone, or sends you a message via personal phone, please stay away from them. Stay vigilant and protect yourselves. The leaders are hiding in well-protected bunkers and safeguarding themselves, but you are in danger. Please follow these instructions to save your lives." Amir Sarfati asks, is this psychological warfare? I would agree wholeheartedly it is. Mass shooting is unfolding in the city of Nîmes, France, where a gunman is reportedly still at large. At least 7 people have been injured so far, several of them critically. Emergency services and law enforcement are on the scene, and residents have been urged to stay indoors as a manhunt continues. I am glad I saw France when I saw it, because it's just like it just gets worse by the day. I don't know. And in Germany, excessive reporting on current temperatures makes the Mediterranean look like a sea of blood in order to scare people about man-made climate change. One of many other reasons why people have no longer interested or are no longer interested in looking at state-run TV. This is the guy, he's the crazy dude who basically turned his great channel into a DJ channel. I still don't know what he was thinking. Everybody's leaving. He's lost 30,000 subscribers out of the 90 plus that were there. But I agree with him here. He showed a video on his Telegram, and it shows the Mediterranean. And the Mediterranean is literally looks like it's covered in blood. I mean, it's so out of the ordinary that, I don't know. It just, water is blue, no matter how hot it gets. So, from sky, you get the point. Technically clear. Can be dirty, can be brown. But blood red, not the Mediterranean. So, trying to scare tactics, trying to get you scared. Don't be scared, be prepared, folks. Prepare, prep, get your stuff together, and keep coming back nightly for the crisis report so we can give you all the information going on. Is Iran about to get hit? Folks, it's looking kind of like things are just about to get going again. So get prepped, do the FEMS thing, food, energy, medicine, and security. Check out the video on PrepperNow if you want to see that one lately. That's about cities falling and stuff. 2 videos today. Great to have you over there. We're going to keep pumping it out. But Thank you for making me have 50,000 subscribers on PrepperNow. Thanks for being a member here as well and getting the news. Appreciate y'all. God bless. Subscribestar will be free for the next 4 or 5 days. Come on over and check it out, and we'll see you on the next one. PrepperNow out.